A 15-year-old boy was shot in a Maryland high school bathroom, allegedly over a girl. And a 16-year-old is the suspect. My name is Ramon Weatherall, the host of the Raising Karter podcast, a father of five. I've talking to hundreds of men over my 51 years. And fathers, dads, men, we need to do better. You want to talk about politics. You want to talk about relationships. You want to talk about all these things, but dads, men, we need to do better. Let's check out this video and you can see what happened in this tragic situation.
A high school restroom in Maryland. This is video from the scene Friday at Joppatowne High School in Harford County, about 30 miles or so outside of Baltimore. The Harford County Sheriff says the principal and school resource officer responded to a fight in a first-floor restroom at the school. During the incident, a gun was fired and a bullet struck 15-year-old Warren Curtis Grant, killing him. Investigators say the 16-year-old shooter ran from the scene but was taken into custody and is going to be charged. I do want to talk more about this situation here, so let's bring in Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylor joining us live. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Sure. Appreciate the invitation to come on.
All right. Well, first off, I do have to ask you, what went through your mind as you hear just a day after the shooting that happened, or 2 days after the shooting in Georgia, you now have a shooting inside of a school in your area? What went through your mind?
Well, I think this is something that every police chief and sheriff across the country fears. We were in our fourth day of school here in Harford County for the school year, and it came out as an active shooter incident, which, this is horrific enough. And this was a one-on-one, sadly, a homicide inside a school setting. But it goes through your mind about, are we going to respond appropriately? Can we neutralize the threat if it's an active shooter? How many lives might be lost? It's a panic in your brain, but I got to say, I couldn't be more pleased with the way our deputies, assisted by all of our municipal and state and federal partners, responded. We had in 15 minutes more than 100 police officers on the scene. The school, can't speak enough about the principal there.
He said in 15 minutes they had over 100 police officers on the scene. They're not playing. They're not playing. They're not playing. The message that they're sending down from that Apalachee high school shooting, no one's playing no more.
Nurses, our SRO was actually in the school, did not hear the shot, but responded to the commotion. And our community, how well, it's a panic, and how well all that process went. Our community put their trust in us at the sheriff's office and the school system to work with all of our partners on the reunification process. So quite a monumentous, limited to one student suspect and one sadly one victim who has lost his life. But I'm thankful that it wasn't worse.
Do we know at this point, do you know as the investigation continues, if the student and the accused shooter actually knew each other? Did they have any sort of contact prior to this?
Yeah, we are aware that we're familiar with one another. They attend the same high school. The suspect had not attended yet this year. This was his first day of coming to school for the school year. And sadly, we believe this horrific incident took place over, a girl, at the center of it, between that these two guys had feelings for. And it's sad to sit here and discuss a gun in a school, a 15-year-old who has lost his life, and a 16-year-old who, for all intents and purposes, has lost his life too, because he has now been charged with 5 counts, including first and second degree murder, using a handgun in the commission of a felony. He's lost his life as well, over a teenage love interest, if you will.
As far as previous interactions,
absolutely, he's lost his life over a girl who might not have even wanted him. She might not even wanted him. She might not even have wanted him. He probably crashed out over a girl who didn't even want him.
With this 16-year-old suspect. Was your office familiar with him?
We were, and we're still, investigators are still working. As with any investigation, the investigation goes on long after the arrest. But we are familiar with more than 10 occurrences that we have dealt with this individual, either as a victim, a witness, or a suspect to incidents involving the sheriff's office. And there are other police departments here in the county. That's just sheriff's office calls for service since 2022. So in 2 years, we've had over 10 encounters with this same individual. In some cases, I don't have a number, but in some cases, a suspect of committing crime, and sadly, on a path to destruction. And now he has committed the ultimate crime. It's going to cost him, his childhood, if you will.
We played yesterday as you held a news conference, and during that news conference, you mentioned that the law requires juveniles in custody to essentially be allowed to consult with an attorney before being questioned by law enforcement. And you were very vocal about your opposition to that. How can a law like this overall hinder your investigation when you are trying to investigate something of this nature?
Sure. In the 2022 legislative session, during the 90-day session that takes place here in Maryland, our legislators, our crime-friendly legislature, and we have some very good legislators from my county who oppose this nonsense, but they put in a series of police reform and bills targeting helping youthful offenders, children, and they even renamed it from juvenile reform to children reform to try to make it more palatable. And even our governor vetoed this. Our Republican governor at the time, Larry Hogan, vetoed this nonsense on the Child Interrogation Act, because in many instances, the individuals would be read their Miranda rights prior to the law taking effect, and they'd want to talk to police, or the parents would want the young offenders to talk to police. It now requires the involvement of an attorney, and no attorney is going to say, talk to the police. We know that, and that's what we have seen as a result. The governor's veto at the time spoke about this exact incident, that it's going to contribute to crime, contribute to not being able to perhaps recover evidence. And in this case, the gun is still outstanding. And had we been able to talk to this individual right away, that piece of evidence and where that is still out in the community somewhere might have been recovered. But again, I think that this legislation that they have passed has certainly hindered our investigators on serious cases like this, and then in other cases as well.
Will security at the
Tell the truth. This is, this is cap, because if you're gonna say all that, then say the truth. He said interrogate. When you're interrogating, the police have the right to lie to you when they're interrogating you. That's why this bill was introduced. They can lie to these kids and tell them, oh, you're gonna go home. You can go, just tell us what happened. We can make all this go away. They can lie to you. They can catch you up. They can tell you whatever, make you think you're going home, make you think it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. That's why police don't solve a lot of cases. People just tell on themselves or tell on somebody else. Any lawyer that's worth anything is not going to tell you not to talk to them. So that's why this bill was introduced, sir. And that's it makes it hard on it. They don't like it because they just want people so they can lie to kids and they can get them to say, confess to things that might not even be true. That's why this bill was introduced.
schools there in the county be increased, upped, beefed up as a result of this situation here? I know it's described, of course, as an isolated incident, but do you expect to increase security at the other schools there?
We're certainly monitoring. There have been some social media, the good with social media comes a whole lot of bad, and there have been some things posted. So we do have an SRO in this county, and every high school and middle school, and then the elementary schools have coverage as well. So we do have I would say, a very good school resource officer program. As I said, there was an SRO in the school at the time of this shooting. We will enhance our presence, particularly at this school next week and at some other schools in the county, just to reassure the community here that we are doing everything we can to keep our children in what should be, one of the most safe environments, to keep our children safe while they're in schools. But again, both of my girls went to the public school system here in the county. this is what every parent fears. And you asked at the beginning of the interview, when I was in Parkland, different shootings happened back in the day, Sandy Hook. These are on our minds constantly, absent turning our schools into prisons. What can we do to keep them safe? And I certainly don't want my children to go to a jail. We run the jail here in the county. We know how to keep things out and keep the people in, but it's not the environment we want our children learning in.
And what advice do you have for parents? Because especially considering what did happen in Georgia, not to keep bringing it up, but that was Wednesday. And then 2 days later, you have this situation. What advice do you have for parents? What do you say to them when they do express their concern about sending kids to school?
Well, I have to say, again, in our community, I think our citizens understand and respect, but they know that we're not safe anywhere. And again, if we lock down our schools, like the jail, like the prisons, that's not going to stop this offender from doing this crime somewhere out in the community. We need to focus on the issues as a society. We need to focus on the issues of why a 16-year-old has possession of a firearm. Those other involvements with law enforcement, should he be on the street, had something else given us the ability to maybe intervene with the criminal justice system, even though our legislature doesn't want that. Maybe the criminal justice system could have put this 16-year-old on a different path that never ended up with him shooting somebody. These are the societal type of issues that we need to deal with if indeed we are truly concerned about keeping children safe no matter where they are.
Like I said in the beginning, man, we need to do better. Where's this boy's father at? Because, I mean, he hadn't been to school. He hadn't been to school all week. And then he came to school to get at this boy. That's what he came to school for. He came to school to fight over this girl. He came to school to fight over this girl. And this is probably what happened when somebody told him that she was messing with somebody else. This is probably how he acted.
Cheated first, so she cheated. Oh my God! Derek, stop doing. Get your get up. So ass is backing off. Silly.
Yeah. So, and then after that, he comes to school and wants to fight and brings a gun. And, I mean, I don't have any real, honestly, real fuck boy mentality. You shoot him, you shoot him. What, he was putting hands on you too bad? The fight was more than what you could handle, so you had to shoot him over a girl who probably didn't want you? What? Because am I too old? Like, you're not fighting over a girl that's your girl. You not the 15-year-old boy probably didn't start a fight with you over your girl. You fighting him because the girl like him more than you. But also, to the young lady, you do not involve yourself with any type of boy. If you get any inclination that he's on this type of mess, that you know who he is. You know how he is. You know he in the street. You know what he doing. Why you fooling with him? Why you fooling him? Why you even letting him think that you like him or that he can like you? No. Fathers, man, we dropping the ball. You got to school your daughters to tell, no, we not doing the thug thing. We not doing the bad boys. No, he shouldn't even think that you like him. He should know, oh, my father would not allow me dating you and talking to you. It's not happening. You can go on and like somebody else because it's never going to happen. And for the boy, the 16-year-old boy with the gun, what you fighting somebody else for over a girl that probably don't even like you? You end up crashing out, like the cop said. You killed somebody and you threw away your life. You threw away your life over a 15-year-old girl who's going to go on and be with somebody else. This 15-year-old boy is dead. Your life is over. She not going to be with either one of y'all. She going to go off and be with somebody else, maybe even this year in high school. And now what? But not on this. It's 26-year-old men who do this. It's 36-year-old men who do this. It's grown ass men who do the same thing because they still thinking like a little boy. Look, if a girl don't want you, you can't make her want you. You can't beat up her boyfriend or the guy she likes and make her want you. It's a wrap. It's over. Go find somebody who does want you. And if don't nobody want you, it's your damn fault. And that is this episode of the Raise the Karter podcast. If you got any value from this video, if you like the hats that I'm wearing, see that it says I will never quit, because that's what it is. I'll never quit because I love what I'm doing. Reaching out, helping men, giving them the game that you need. You need this game. And if you got any value from this video, check out the playlist we got right here of all the other videos that we got. If I don't care if you 16 or if you 65. If a woman doesn't want to be with you, you can't make her be with you. And beating up and shooting or trying to flex on her, the guy she likes, it's lame, man. It's lame. You crashed out over some lame shit. You going to jail for the rest. This boy going to jail for the rest of his life over a girl who didn't even want him. Man, that's no life. That's not how you should live your life. That's not the purpose that God intended your life to be. He didn't. And I'm out of here. Peace.